Level 1, beginner spells. Alright, so you're basically a first-year wizard who just walked into Hogwarts with zero clue how magic works. Level 1 spells are where everyone starts, and honestly, they're designed to be stupid simple because you're literally learning how to not blow your own face off. These spells are all about teaching you the fundamentals, how to pronounce words without sounding like you're gargling pumpkin juice, how to move your wand without yeeting it across the room, and how to focus your magical energy on one tiny task. Let's break it down. Lumos is probably the most basic spell in existence. You point your wand, say Lumos, and boom, light comes out. That's it. It's like the magical version of a flashlight, except you're the battery. Nox is literally just turning that light off. If you can't do these two, you probably shouldn't be holding a wand. Alohomora unlocks doors, which sounds cool until you realize it's basically the wizard equivalent of using a paperclip on a cheap lock. Wingardium Leviosa is where things get slightly harder because now you're making stuff float. Remember, it's Leviosa, not Levio-Sag. Pronunciation matters, or you'll end up launching a feather into someone's eyeball. Then you've got Reparo, which fixes broken stuff, but only small things like glasses or teacups. Don't expect to repair a collapsed building with this baby. Incendio starts fires, which is useful until some idiot sets the curtains ablaze. And Scourgify? That's just magical cleaning spray. These spells are deliberately low stakes because they're testing whether you can control magic at all. Mess up Lumos and you get dim light. Mess up a level 6 spell and someone dies. Level 2, intermediate utility spells. Now we're getting somewhere. You've survived first year without accidentally setting yourself on fire, so second and third years throw you into spells that actually do something useful. Level 2 is where magic stops being about party tricks and starts being about practical applications and basic combat. These spells require way more magical juice and control than level 1 stuff, plus your wand movements get more complicated. Screw up the flick on Expelliarmus and you might just smack yourself in the face. Expelliarmus is basically the poster child of level 2 spells. It disarms whoever you're pointing at by yeeting their wand out of their hand. Harry uses this thing like it's going out of style because it's effective without being lethal. The trick is you need solid aim and enough force behind it, or your opponent just laughs and keeps hexing you. Rictus Sempra is the tickling jinx, which sounds harmless until you realize forcing someone to laugh uncontrollably in a duel is actually a brutal strategy. They can't concentrate, can't cast, can't do anything except giggle like an idiot. Petrificus Totalis is nastier. It locks up your entire body like you're a statue. Arms snap to your sides, legs lock together, and you just timber over. Silencio shuts people up completely, which is hilarious in theory, but also scary because imagine not being able to scream for help. Muffliato creates a buzzing sound around you so nobody can eavesdrop super clutch for secret conversations. Finite Incantatem cancels out minor spells, though it won't work on anything serious. And Axio? That's the summoning charm. You yell Axio broomstick and it flies to you from wherever it is. The further away the object, the more magical strength you need, so summoning something from across the castle takes serious chops. Level 3, defensive and counter spells. Welcome to 4th year, where things get real and people start learning how to not die in a wizard fight. Level 3 is all about defense and dueling, which means you're not just casting spells anymore. You're reacting, countering, and timing everything perfectly, or you're getting blasted on your butt. These spells separate the kids who've been practicing from the ones who've been coasting, because one mistake in timing and you're eating a stupefy to the chest. Protego is the bread and butter shield charm. You cast it, and this invisible barrier pops up that deflects most basic spells. Sounds easy, right? Wrong. You need to time it exactly when the spell's about to hit you and you need enough magical power behind it, or stronger spells just punch right through. It's like blocking in a fighting game. Do it too early or too late, and you're done. Stupefy is the stunning spell that knocks people unconscious. Red light shoots out, hits them, and they drop like a sack of potatoes. It's non-lethal but powerful, and it's the go-to in duels because it ends fights without killing anyone. Impedimenta slows down whatever you're aiming at, whether it's a person or a charging hippogriff. Super useful when you need to buy time. Renovate wakes people up from being stunned, so it's basically the counter to stupefy. Relatio forces things to release their grip, great for escaping ropes, chains, or a Grindilo trying to drown you. Then there's Obliviate, and holy crap, this one's serious. It erases memories, like you can literally delete chunks of someone's brain if you do it right. Lockhart was supposed to be good at this, but botched it so hard he wiped his own memory. That's why it's level 3. It requires insane precision and control over someone's mind. Section 4. Level 4. Advanced Charms and Transfigurations. Alright, now we're in the territory where casual wizards tap out and serious magic users step up. Level 4 spells mess with reality itself, shrinking things, blowing stuff up, turning objects into completely different materials. This isn't just waving your wand and hoping for the best. You need to understand the fundamental properties of what you're changing. Plus you need the magical strength to actually force those changes to happen. Get the theory wrong and you might turn someone's arm into stone permanently or blow yourself up instead of your target. Apparicium reveals invisible ink, which seems boring until you realize it's uncovering hidden magical writing that someone specifically enchanted to stay secret. That takes skill. Episky heals minor injuries like broken noses or cuts. Tonks uses this on Harry's face and boom, nose fixed. But you can't just slap this on any injury. Try using it on something major and you'll make things worse. Reductio and Engorgio shrink or enlarge stuff, and the magical control needed here is insane because you're literally warping an object's physical dimensions while keeping it structurally intact. Screw it up and things explode or collapse. Confringo is straight up explosion magic. You point, cast, and whatever you're aiming at detonates. It's destructive and dangerous, which is why most students don't learn it. Anapneo clears blocked airways, so if someone's choking, this spell saves their life by magically ejecting whatever's stuck. And Duro, that turns things to stone, like actual petrification of objects. You're fundamentally changing matter from organic or whatever material into solid rock. That requires understanding transfiguration theory at a deep level, plus the magical juice to make the transformations stick. Mess this up and you get half-transformed nightmares. Level 5. Specialized Spells. This is where wizards separate into their career paths and start learning magic that's legitimately dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Level 5 spells are specialized. Auras learn different ones than healers, and most regular wizards never touch this stuff. These spells demand years of training, intense magical power, and often emotional or mental control that most people just don't have. Cast these wrong and you're not just failing, you're causing serious harm or straight up dying. Expecto Patronum is the famous one, and it's brutally hard. You need to summon your happiest memory, channel that pure positive emotion, and project it into a physical guardian made of light. Most wizards can only make a weak silver mist. Getting a full corporeal Patronus like Harry does? That's rare as hell and requires emotional strength most people don't possess. Plus, it's the only defense against Dementors, so if you can't pull this off, you're getting your soul sucked out. No pressure. Legilimens literally reads minds. You're invading someone's thoughts, memories, and emotions, which requires insane mental discipline and magical finesse. Snape's a master at this. Protego Maxima is the beefed-up shield charm that can protect entire areas, not just yourself. It's what they use to shield Hogwarts. Apparition isn't technically a spell, but it's the ability to teleport, and you can literally split yourself in half if you lose concentration. That's called splinching, and it's as horrifying as it sounds. Then we hit the really nasty ones. Sectum Sempra slashes your target like invisible swords are cutting them apart. Snape invented this, and when Harry uses it on Malfoy, the kid nearly bleeds out. And Fiendfire? That's cursed fire that consumes everything, and you can't control it once it's unleashed. It destroys Horcruxes, but also kills the caster half the time. Level 6. Dark and Forbidden Spells. We've officially entered the "you're going to wizard prison" for this territory. Level 6 is Dark Magic with a capital D, the kind of spells that are straight up illegal and will land you in Azkaban for life if you use them. These aren't just dangerous, they're evil by design, created specifically to torture, control, and kill. The Ministry bans this stuff for a reason, and even learning about them in detail is sketchy. Death Eaters use these like they're nothing, which tells you everything about how messed up they are. The Unforgivable Curses are the big three, and using any of them on a human gets you a one-way ticket to Azkaban. Crucio is the torture curse, and it doesn't just hurt, it inflicts pain so extreme that prolonged exposure literally breaks your mind permanently. Neville's parents got hit with this so many times they went insane and never recovered. It requires you to genuinely want to cause suffering, so you can't just say the words. You need to mean it with sadistic intent. Imperio takes total control of someone. They become your puppet, doing whatever you command with zero free will. Barty Crouch Jr. used this on tons of people, making them commit crimes they'd never normally do. Resisting it requires incredible mental strength that most wizards don't have. Then there's Avada Kedavra, the killing curse. Green light, instant death, no pain, no defense except for very specific ancient magic. There's no counter curse, no blocking it with Protego, nothing. You get hit, you die. Harry's the only known survivor because of his mum's sacrificial protection. Beyond the Unforgivables, you've got Inferius Animation, which is reanimating corpses as zombie slaves. And Horcrux Creation? That's literally ripping your soul apart by committing murder, then stuffing soul fragments into objects to avoid death. It's the darkest magic that exists. Level 7, Legendary and Ancient Magic. Now we're talking about magic so rare and powerful that most wizards think it's just legend or theory. Level 7 isn't stuff you learn in a classroom or find in normal spellbooks. This is ancient magic, tied to bloodlines, lost rituals, legendary artifacts, or phenomena so specific they might happen once in a century. We're talking magic that breaks the normal rules, magic that even Dumbledore and Voldemort only partially understood. This is the endgame stuff that decides wars and reshapes magical history. Priori Incantatem is that insane wand connection thing that happened when Harry and Voldemort duelled. Their wands shared the same core, Fawkes's feathers, so when they clashed, the wands forced each other to regurgitate the last spells cast. Ghosts of Voldemort's victims came pouring out. This isn't something you can practice or control, it just happens under extremely rare circumstances. Love magic is even weirder because it's not a spell you cast. Lily Potter's sacrifice created protection so powerful, it literally burned Voldemort when he touched Harry. That kind of magic comes from willingly dying for someone, and it creates a shield that dark magic can't penetrate. The Fidelius charm hides a secret inside a living person's soul. The secret keeper is the only one who can reveal it, and even if you're standing right in front of the hidden location, you can't see it unless they tell you. That's reality warping magic. The taboo spell traces anyone who says a forbidden word. Voldemort put it on his own name, so saying Voldemort would instantly alert Death Eaters to your location and break protective enchantments. Then you've got the Deathly Hallows, the resurrection stone that brings back echoes of the dead, and the Elder Wand that makes its master unbeatable. These aren't just powerful objects. They're tied to death itself and require understanding magic at a level basically nobody reaches. So there you have it, every spell in the Harry Potter universe ranked from baby's first magic trick to literally cheating death itself. Whether you're just learning Lumos or you're out here splitting your soul into 7 pieces like a psychopath, magic has levels and climbing them separates the Hermiones from the crabs. Now you know exactly where every spell sits on the power scale. If you enjoyed this journey through the 7 levels, please give the video a like
and subscribe.